Hi! Happy Monday, I think. Yes. Oh, hang on, I've lost all my comments now. Happy Monday. Hope you've had a great weekend. I've had a very strange weekend, but we're all fine. I just feel like I've done some very odd things this weekend, like climb on the roof to fix my Velux windows and just random stuff. So, I hope yours has been less weird, and I hope you're enjoying the sun and haven't died yet. Um, It seems much cooler today, I think, thank goodness. I always thought I liked summer, but I really don't. I don't like not being able to sleep. I don't like applying sun cream to sweaty, scabby children. It's just not fun. So today I'm going to talk about head versus heart. And I'm going to keep getting confused now because I've just been recording a course about finding your ideal client, re-recording it. So yeah, head versus heart. Morning, someone. Let me go find out who you are. If I can find my group. Which I can't because it's not loading. Jenna and Claire, hello. Claire, Jenna, yes, most definitely it's a good one for you. Just tell StreamYard your name if you can remember how to do it in the things at the top. So, firstly, if you're on live, do you know if you lead with your head or your heart, especially in business, but generally how we are in life is how we are in business a lot of the time. We can learn better ways, but our initial instinct is still to behave the same way as we do, like with all our other decisions. So I'm a proper heart person. We all know that. I will jump straight in. The skill I have learned along the way now is to balance that out much better. I didn't have this skill a few years ago. Now I do, and everything shifted from there. It's a really important thing to be able to do. So in business, like leading with the heart, the yeah, Jen, I could guess that was you from that. I keep losing my tab. Yes. In business, leading with the heart can cause you to make entirely the wrong decisions. Heart goes first, overthink things to death in your head and back away. Yeah, again, it's finding the balance between them, which is what I'm going to talk about. Yeah, it can lead you to make the wrong decisions, but leading from the head can result in more considered and realistic decisions being made that are often in the best interest of the business, but might lead you to not enjoy the business as much. And that's a really important part of this for me is I want you to love your business or you may as well get a job. There's no point doing it if you don't love it as well. So it is all about finding this kind of balance at play. And leading with the heart can sometimes only just delay the inevitable intervention of the head. At some point, your head will say, this isn't working. But only listening to your head might give you a better success, but you might regret it. And so, yeah, if you want to lead a more satisfying life, you kind of got to lead with your heart. Make sure you're running everything through your head first. And make sure you're willing to make the difficult decisions when it's necessary. So, like, I've got many good examples, but a really good example for me is Ladies Life Lounge. When I was running that business, I wanted it to work so much. I loved all the people that I was working with, but I wasn't making the money I wanted to make. I wasn't serving people in the best way for me. I was doing a lot of stuff that didn't fit what I actually wanted to do anymore. And so choosing a head decision there was tough in the end, but like completely the right one. Oh, I just had a comment that then disappeared. So it's knowing that your head has to make the final decision, but I sort of let my heart choose the path. So, for example, if you've got a member of staff that you love to death, this is where Jade gets sacked on the spot on the live video. If you've got a member of staff that you love to death and they're a fab person and they're trying and you know they've got kids and family to feed, but they're not the right person for the job, that's where your heart says stick with them, but your head sort of says you're not going to get any further. You're not going to help them, like in terms of their career development, if they stay in a job that's not suited to them. And it's costing your business. And at some point, you have to make a decision either way. And it's learning in your business to be able to make the hard business decisions while still knowing you kind of tried your best and you did it all ethically and you worked through it as well as you could. Like, that is the payoff here. Your mind's got the ability to make decisions based on logic and reasoning. It's literally a computer. It will tell you, it knows if you are not doing the right thing. But your heart's amazing and has the ability to think outside the box and to see different. We talk about gut instinct. That's kind of the heart thing. It can feel stuff that you want to do. It can help you look at the longer term picture of, if I do this, all of this will come through. Like, my husband is very, very logical. And so now him working in my business with me is really interesting because I do things that I know will work in the long term, but he's very much like, but this isn't right for now. Like, yeah, you have to let stuff play out. And I'm experienced enough in business to know this now. But it is still that overriding. When he made me make the chart, did you all see the chart he made? I actually have it here because we were looking at it yesterday. I don't know if you'll be able to see, it's humongous. Sorry about this. This isn't exactly live. Can't see you, so I can't see what you need. But basically, we made a bit of a chart about how much effort and time stuff takes versus money. I think that's a pound sign. And we plotted out where I should be spending my time in a logical way. But then I can look at that and decide, right, which ones I love doing, which ones I want to feed into as well. And making that balance is dead important. So if you're in your head too much, you probably experience some or all of these things. So I'm going to read my little list. You overthink everything. You get caught up in what other people are thinking or doing. You spend ages making decisions, even for the small things. You're ticking all of the boxes of what you should be doing, but you're not feeling any satisfaction around it. You're not feeling the reward. You're creating new products and marketing content regularly, but doesn't seem to connect with your customer base. You've reached a turnover or an income plateau and you're kind of stuck. You don't seem to be able to break through it. If you're in your head too much, you're probably experiencing lots of that stuff. Good morning, Jade. Hi, my love. You okay? So yeah, if you're in your head too much, that's all going on. If you're in your heart too much, you've no idea how much money you made last month or last quarter or last year. You've got loads of creative ideas, but not so much follow through. That's that one. That one is me always. You find yourself doing lots of tasks manually that could be automated. Oh, this has been a big thing since I've had Tom in my business, because it's suddenly like, well, why can't we just set that up to do that and that up to do that? And I'm like, and it's right. It's so much easier. Like, we have systems. So when I publish an event on Eventbrite, it logs into my Google Calendar. It logs with my emailing software. And it like joins all the dots together that I had been doing manually before, because I like to have kind of heart control over that and see who's around. You get caught out with unexpected bills you could have anticipated. If you're all heart, you might decide, I'll buy that new software, or I'll do this, I'll do that. And then suddenly it's not a logical decision. You spend a lot on pretty things or fun sounding education. You buy a shed load of courses. I was a course junkie. That was a phrase I use a lot. That you don't do. Jade Walton, nod your head. Fun sounding education, but you don't see a return on investment because you're not implementing it. That's a proper heart led thing. Most of the shit's blowing across the floor, and now there's a motorbike. You often underprice your products and services and offer discounts. So rather than being confident in what you can do and achieve, I've got a giant piece of paper flying across the floor. What you can do and achieve, rather than being confident in that, you very quickly offer a discount, or you very quickly decide you can't price it the same price as somebody else. And actually, I'm laughing at myself in so much of this because I think I'm much better at head versus heart stuff. And apart from the money stuff, I know exactly what I made last month, last quarter, and last year. And I know where all my bills are. Apart from that, everything else on that heart list is all mine. So how do we find a balance? I'm assuming this is still Jade. Yeah. And then Claire. Yeah. Well, technically, technically you want to be on both lists, but you want to be on the positive aspect of both of those lists. So you want to be doing the opposite to everything I've just read. So how do we find balance? There's lots and lots and lots of ways, and there's lots of techniques and strategies that I kind of use. But first of all, give your brain some information. Lots of the time, we know we want to do something, we will ignore all of the evidence against it. So it's confirmation bias, we ignore everything against it. Give your brain the information. So realistically, review your sales figures, understand what your best-selling stuff is. Check out how customers are actually getting to your website. Start doing some of the logical stuff that helps you understand how your business is running. A big part of this is when I say give your brain the information, if I've decided I want to do something, I make myself sleep on it. And that sounds like such a small thing. And it really is, because that idea of a few extra hours before I do something won't make a difference. But when I am all heart, the minute I decide I want to do something, I'm done. I just need to get on with it. I want to do it. I'm excited. I'm wrapped up in it. The opposite as well. If I'm angry or annoyed about something or someone's frustrated me, my immediate response is to dive in and fix it. Don't leave it sitting there. Either fix it or destroy it, whichever way around I'm feeling at that moment. But it's an immediate reaction, and so much benefit is found by deciding to sleep on it. Just wait that time. Same as if I want to buy something, I will make myself wait 24 hours. So if I'm on Amazon, it's something I'm not going on there to look for. It's just something I've decided I wanted. I'll put it in my basket and I will make myself wait 24 hours, by which point I realised that it was ridiculous and I don't need a Roomba at all because I don't even Hoover. Which is maybe why I need a Roomba, but so give your brain as much information as you can. Give yourself a pause. So that idea of I have to wait till morning to make any decisions, it really, really does change your heart behavior. Another way to find balance, let your heart do the talking. So once your brain's got the data, so once you look at it in a logical manner, let it filter through your heart again. So a really, really good example of this, earlier this year, someone Jade knows approached us to see if we wanted to run almost some office space at a village, a couple of villages away from me, see if I wanted to rent the whole office space, rent out some of it individually and kind of make a bit of a women's business hub there. I wanted to do that so much. We went and looked at the space. I loved the space. I could see some flaws, but I could immediately discount those. Like when you buy a house and you love it straight away, you can ignore all of the stuff. Could immediately discount all the flaws. Tom was even on board with the idea, which I thought would be a really hard sell because it would be a big commitment for us. And then he made me sit down and go through the finances of it. And when he showed it me, I think it could take up to a year to even be starting to break even on that. Never mind how much work was involved. And then I slept on it, and then it becomes a no-brainer decision. I was absolutely gutted. It might be on the sheet. You can't tell, it's right over there now. It might be on the sheet where we had to decide. Let me see if it is on the sheet.
It's definitely on that one, bottom right.
I've got two sheets here going on. Yeah. So the office, it's collecting. The offices like right up here on effort and time, but really low on money. And once it's plotted onto a sheet like that, I need to be focusing on everything that's low effort and time and high money. It was right down here. So it didn't matter how much I wanted to do that and create the thing, it made no logical sense. And giving myself the time to go through that and giving my brain all of the information allowed me to move from heart to head, and I have no regrets about it. Equally, I could have pushed through that. I could have convinced Tom, without doubt. I could have convinced him. I was really excited about it, and we could have forced it to work, but I couldn't have done so many things that I've done in this last few months because I would have been doing all of that for not much return. But my heart wanted it so bad. My heart still wants to create something around here, but that wasn't the right thing. 3 years ago, if that had been offered me, I would have just taken it and figured it out later and not necessarily regretted it, but it would not have been worth it. It would not have been a good business decision. And this is what we're talking about here, is good business decisions. So yeah, let your heart do your talking. Once your brain's got the data, it will filter it through your heart, and then you get to decide. You'll know if something doesn't fit right. You'll know if it looks weird. And the opposite way is if your brain's still saying, I'm not quite sure about this, your heart will decide for you there and then. If your brain knows it's a no, your heart will follow that. And then there's a really good little note here is hire your brain as your heart's VA, as your heart's virtual assistant. And I love that idea. So your brain's a really, really, really good VA. Jade is mine. I often want to do crazy, stupid things. And usually Eckington Officers was a different thing till we looked at the money because we both wanted to do that. But usually Jade will stop me from doing things that I will get way carried away in. So if you let your heart set the agenda, figure out your vision and where you want to go, plug your brain in and let it do the problem solving. Let your brain figure out how I'm going to fix that, check out the numbers, make sure it all works. And kind of that's the basics of this. But for all of us, it's that awareness of what drives me. Now I know that. What do I choose to do about it? And again, the same applies vice versa. If you are all logic, you will not love running your business. If you're all logic, you'll miss great opportunities that you could really enjoy because you've made a decision that it won't work for you. And sometimes stuff can work for you if you've got enough passion and kind of belief in it yourself. So all of this little chat was about finding the balance, know which one you are. So out of the two little lists, which one you are, and then figuring out how you learn to run it through head and heart. Definitely sleep on it. That helps the head. If you're a heart person, sleep on stuff. If you're a head person, the opposite almost applies. If you are a head person and you want to do something, your gut says do it because the likelihood is your head's already decided whether it's feasible or not. And let your heart have a bit of play in there as well. All right, any questions? Drop them in the chat for me. I'll come and check back in. If you want to have a chat about any of this stuff, you know where to find me. Right, I'm back off recording videos today. Very exciting. We have so much to tell you coming up. I've just re-recorded some sessions. I've just been doing welcome videos to some things. Yeah, we've got loads going on. I don't know where I am next week. Let's have a little look. Am I just here on a Facebook Live? Am I off visiting? Yep, no, it's a normal weekend next week, so I will be back at 9:30. I have no idea what I'm talking about then, but it'll be a surprise for all of us. Well, it won't because it's in the Facebook group for you if you want to find out. Right, ladies, have a fab week. Check in if you want anything, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.